Hey guys, Rick here from the Onside Kick. Before I start the video, I know this video is going up on July 5th technically, but I want to wish you guys all a happy 4th of July. Hope you guys had a great time on your 4th and get the weekend started off right here on Friday. But one story I want to talk about, Boston Bruins, Dallas Stars do a 7-player trade where Boston gets Erickson, Smith, Frazier, and Morrow from the Stars, and they will give Dallas Seguin, Peverly, and Button. You can check out the details down below in the story reported by ESPN. But when I first saw on my phone, because I get the ESPN updates, that Tyler Seguin was traded, I was like, wait a second. He was traded? And then I was flipping through my Facebook timeline, and I see NHL 14, EA Sports are like, hey, look at Tyler Seguin in his new Dallas Stars jersey. And I was like, what? When did this happen? So I had to check it out. My first gut reaction was, why? Why would you trade a 21-year-old kid that is basically to me, I thought of him as the young blood on the Boston Bruins. I thought, hey, what would the Blackhawks be like if they traded Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews? That was my reaction. But then I did a little bit of digging, found out that Tyler Seguin, he signed a contract that's going to start this next year. It's a huge contract. He's going to make his cap hit on the team basically is almost $6 million. It's about $5.75 million a year that he will go against the team. You got to think of what Boston's doing right now. They had to sign a guy who did amazingly in the postseason, and that was Patrice Bergeron, a guy who I know with me being a Blackhawks fan, I did not like seeing him in the Stanley Cup. You also got to think Boston signing, or hopes they will be signing, a goaltender in Tuukka Rask, where I don't even know how much money he's going to want. He deserves. You can argue if he deserves top dollar, but if you perform well in the playoffs, i.e., Jonathan Quick, Jimmy Howard, you deserve some big money. And they had to trade Seguin. On the flip side for Dallas, great move for them. I love the move for Dallas because you get a new logo. You're trying to set up your team for the future. Hey, here's a 21-year-old stud that can come out and play first line for you. And I know most of you out there are going to be like, oh, well, Ricky, his numbers in the playoffs weren't that stellar. Well, you know what? Seguin's numbers in any of the 3 playoffs that he's played in haven't been stellar. Yes, this past season, I'm looking at him now, he only had 32 points. Still in 48 games, 32 points is good. 16 goals, 16 assists. So he's going to get you both as a centerman. But look at 2011, 2012. That's the season I think that Seguin can perform at consistently. Out of 81 games, 67 points, 38 assists, 29 goals. That's the guy you're getting out of Seguin. Is he going to put the puck in the net? Not by himself. He's going to make sure it gets to someone else to put it in the net. He's an assist guy at the center position, but can he put it in the back of the net himself? You bet yourself he can. Plus his plus minus, this year 23, last year 34, just to give you a lockout compared to full season. It's a guy who's not going to let a lot of pucks go in the net as a forward. He's going to assist, but he can score goals. That's what you get out of Tyler Seguin. And according to NHL.com, Dallas has already said they're going to put him on the first line, move Jamie Benn over to the wing position, and that's going to be 2 of their players on their first line. So, Dallas, I don't want to say anything that's too like, oh, they got Tyler Seguin, they're going to the Stanley Cup. But in a Western Conference that usually it doesn't take a lot to get the at least the 8th seed in the West. I might go ahead and say that with Tyler Seguin, Dallas has a good shot of making that 8th seed. Now, am I saying they're going to make a push Stanley Cup because of Seguin? No, I'm not saying it at all. I'm just saying that just because they get Seguin, they could be a playoff team. Will it be by the skin of their teeth? Maybe, maybe not, but I feel like they can be an 8th seed in the West. Did I say East? I meant West. But I mean, Boston, they're going to be fine. They've got Patrice Bergeron coming back. One of the guys, and this happened earlier in the week, that I mean, kind of shows why they couldn't keep Seguin is Nathan Horthen. He said, you know what? I'm out of here. The 28-year-old right winger said, you know what? I'm gone. I'm not going to re-sign in Boston. Now, you might think to yourself, Ricky, doesn't that free up some room to keep Seguin? Well, Seguin would have, like I said, a $5.75 million cap hit. Horton's only a $4 million. So, I mean, just because Horton left, Sagan's a little bit more money. Boston thought, hey, you know what? We don't really need him. I'd rather have Patrice Bergeron. Hey, look, we got Tuukka Rask to sign anyways. That's going to do it for my reactions. I think it's a great trade for both sides after looking at it. At first, I was cursing Boston like, what are you guys, idiots? But now after looking at it, great trade for Boston, even a better trade for Dallas. Dallas is going to be a better team moving forward. Boston, if they can sign Tuukka Rask, they will be back almost in the same position they were this year, maybe a little bit less, still be a playoff team moving forward. But as always, tell me what you think down below. What do you think about this trade? Both sides, who won, who lost? Or is it kind of just an even trade all the way around? Also, how do you think Tyler Seguin's going to do in Dallas? And can they make the playoffs with Seguin on that team? That's going to do it for here at the Onside Kick. Have a good day, everybody.